I hope you do know that you just screwed up in that speech right there. I don't know how many people's going to catch it, but I caught it. So you actually think ethnic cleansing in Baghdad is a good idea? I particularly don't. I mean, if that's what you say, it's more peaceful now because they've ethnically cleansed the area, so the civilians aren't fighting amongst themselves as much because the people either left or died. So it's just getting better by means of death. That's not a good thing, no matter how you twist it. And why don't you all call it like it is? Say straight out, the reason why you're going to have to cut the funding is because you have no other choice but to cut funding. You have tried working with the right wing as much as humanly possible. You've given every opportunity to get on your side of the equation when it comes to getting our troops home and putting the brakes on Bush's little bullshit. But since the right wing don't have the cojones to step up to the plate, and even the Republicans in the Republican Party supporting these ignorant politicians are even expecting you to, they're the ones calling for the Democrats to cut funding, even the Republicans. That's what I hear all the time. Well, why haven't the Democrats stopped the funding of the war if you want our troops back so quick? They're trying to save face. There's no saving face. They lied to get into the war. Call them on that as well. I would prosecute them on that as well. They leaked the name of a CIA agent to cover up that fact. The Democratic Party loses its support from the people because it doesn't have the balls to stand up to the bully on the block. Stop playing like the nerd in high school against the jock. It's time to grow some cojones and say, you know what? We have tried working with you as much as humanly possible. But at some point in time, we do have to put the best interest of this country and our troops in mind. And on that note, Bush is not receiving a single more penny. He's got plenty enough money to start a legitimate pullout. Once that pullout begins, if something has come up to where the finances need to be added to, if the pullout is in progress, we have no problem with that. We're not going to leave the troops high and dry. You got plenty of time to do and money to do a reasonable pullout. And the only places in Iraq that are doing any damn good, I forget the name of it, Arab Province, I can't say the damn thing, over there by Fallujah. The areas that they say that the Sunni side of the equation is turned on the Taliban, those are areas that the United States gave up on. We totally left that area. We pulled out. And what happened? We pulled out and the locals took over. They got tired of the foreigners inside their towns killing their own people, and they turned against them. The reason why they turned against them is because we weren't there to fuck with them. And now we're coming back in the equation, paying off who we can pay off and arming them up. What everybody fails to mention is the same Sunnis that are turning against the insurgency or the foreign fighters in that country do not support the Maliki government. You don't bring that to the attention of the people. I would like to know why. That's one thing about the Democratic Party. This is why you do not get the support from people like me. Undoubtedly, I do support the Democrats to a certain extent. I see you as a small step in a better direction. You're the only ones actually talking healthcare, schools, the environment, real issues. You're the only ones talking foreign policy. But you're not going to get the support of the American people until you grow a set of cojones. And straight out, like I said before, if you think genocide and ethnic cleansing is a good idea or a good thing just because it leads to some sort of stability, that's pretty low as far as a mindset, I would say. Just cut the fucking money off. Or at least make the threat. Grow some balls. Do something. That's what it's going to take against these. Press charges. Impeach Bush. If you do not want to cut funding off to the troops, impeach Bush. There's your alternate alternative. Straight out, go for him and Cheney on war crime charges. Tell him straight out, as soon as you get in, you'll join the world court and his ass will be in front of the fucking Hague, and along with every single Republican member that agreed to go along with the bullshit. Either that, you've got two options as I see it. Either you cut the money off. 3, you can kiss their ass and act like a little pussy whipped bitch that you usually do, which gets you no support at all. 2, cut the money off the Bush until the troops actually start coming home. 3, impeach Bush. Put somebody in there that will get the troops out. Your call. The American people are actually waiting for somebody with some balls and character to run this country. Because at this point in time, you're not going to get the support from the right side of the equation. You know it. Stop trying. And stop looking at death in Iraq as a good thing. Needless to say, I think I've went on a good enough rant for especially somebody that's on your side. Frankly, I don't care which one of the Democrats win the presidency. In reality, all you have is a veto. If you can bring health care, education, and alternative energy, and go in them 3 directions in a major way, with, of course, diplomacy as a foreign policy, stop picking fights everywhere, put little Israel back in their box, go for a 2-state solution in the Middle East, would go a million miles when it comes to cleaning up our name overseas. But the biggest thing is people like me are waiting for you to stand up and actually call the right wing for what they are. A bunch of low-life little cowards that are supporting a party over supporting their country. And like I said, you want another option? Impeach Bush. Plain and simple. Well, needless to say, I think I've gave you enough shit. Needless to say, I doubt if you'll even hear it. Have a good one.